What is polygraph? Is an instrument or device capable of recording changes in blood pressure, thought pulse, respiration, and skin resistance in the physiological phenomena that may not be used as basis for the application of a reliable technique of diagnosing truth of deception. Polygraph examination is conducted in a private room with no other person permitted in the examination room during the test except if an interpreter is needed. Phase 1. Initial interview with the investigator handling the case. It is essential to the examiner to obtain accurate information concerning all the available facts and circumstances that form the basis for the suspicion or accusation directed against the person to be examined in order to conduct a satisfactory polygraph examination. Good afternoon, Ivy. My name is Police Deboreen Stacey Jane and I'm a detective from Tagaloan Police Station. I'm here to talk to you about a theft that occurred at Abu K store on October 16th, 11 a.m.
Yeah, I was there that day.
I understand. I'm showing you the security footage. Can you tell me what you were doing in the store that day?
I was just looking around. I didn't take anything.
You're saying you forgot to pay for the drink? Why would you forget to pay for something you clearly took from the store?
I don't know. I was just really tired. I've been working a lot lately. I wasn't thinking straight.
So, you were going to steal the drink and pay for it later?
No, I didn't mean to steal it. I just messed up.
Okay, Ivy. I understand that you're claiming you forgot to pay. But the evidence suggests otherwise. We'll be looking into this further. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Ivy Igran states that he was in the store on October 16th, 11 a.m. and that he took an energy drink. He claims that he forgot to pay for it and intended to return later to pay. He denies any intent to steal the drink. Thank you for your time, Ivy. We'll be in touch. Note, in a real interview, the investigator would need to gather more information, assess the suspect's demeanor, and consider the possibility of deception. Phase 2. PRE test interview. The examiner pre-test interview with the subject prior to the test is considered essential both for the purpose of conditioning the subject for the examination and also to provoke and observe indications of guilt of innocence. The examiner should not hold back any information from the subject about the instrument, its attachment, or recording. This will serve to increase a lying subject concerned over possible detection. Good afternoon, Ivy. My name is Detective Deboreen Stacey. I'm a polygraph examiner from Tagaloan Police Station. Thank you for coming in today.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Before we begin, I want to make sure you understand your rights. You have the right to be examined by a qualified examiner, which I am. You also have the right to be determined fit for the examination. I'll be assessing that shortly. You have the right to be informed of the reason for the test, which is regarding the shoplifting incident at Abu K store on October 16th, 11 a.m. You have the right to have the lie detector machine and its function explained to you. I'll be happy to do that in a moment. You have the right to give your consent to the test. You are not compelled to undergo prolonged questioning, and you are not to be exposed to oral criticism or abuse. You are also not to be subjected to any physical, mental, or psychological abuse. Finally, you have the right to refuse to submit to the lie detector test.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. Before we proceed, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. What's your full name, date of birth, address, and occupation? Thank you. Now, I'd like to talk about the incident at Abu K store. Can you tell me what happened that day? Thank you for that. I'm going to explain how the polygraph works. It measures your physiological responses, such as your heart rate, breathing, and skin conductivity. These responses can indicate whether you're being truthful or not. It's not a lie detector, but a tool to help us determine the truth.
First is the pneumograph. There are the abdominal and thoracic, respiratory activity monitoring. Second is the cardiopulmonograph. The blood pressure cuff, or the pulse rate and pulse rate monitoring. The galvanograph, the skin resistance and pulse blood volume. That's all.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to ask you some questions about the incident. Please answer honestly and calmly. I'll be observing your responses and taking notes. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Good. Let's begin. Note, The actual pretest interview will vary depending on the specific case and the subject's demeanor. The examiner will need to assess the subject's suitability for the test, observe their behavior, and build rapport before proceeding to the actual polygraph examination. Phase 3. The actual test, the conduct of instrumentation. After the pretest interview, the examiner will proceed to place the attachment of polygraph components on the subject. In practice, the first to be attached is the pneumograph, followed by the cardiosphymograph and the galvanograph. Review all the questions being prepared with the subject before the actual examination is conducted. The examiner should discourage any lengthy comments or statement by the subject respecting the matter of incident under investigation or his disclaimer of responsibility for it. Phase 4. Post-test interview/interrogation. This phase includes all consideration that bears on the examination just after the instrument are turned off. If there are significant fluctuations that show up on the polygraph test result that may signal the subject has been deceptive, especially if the person displayed similar responses to the question that was repeatedly asked, the examiner will then proceed to conduct short interrogation, the purpose of which is to obtain confession or admission. However, if the chart of the polygraph indicates that the subject is innocent, the examiner will just release the subject cordially and thanks him/her for the cooperation shown. Ivy, thank you for your cooperation during the test. We've reviewed the results, and there are some areas we'd like to discuss further.
Okay.
Specifically, we're interested in your responses to questions about the missing energy drink in Abu K store. You showed a strong physiological reaction to those questions.
I told you, I didn't take it.
We understand you deny involvement, but the test results suggest otherwise. Can you explain why you reacted so strongly to those questions?
I don't know. Maybe I was just nervous.
Ivy, we're not here to accuse you, but we need to understand the truth. Do you have any other explanation for your responses?
Hesitates, I might have seen someone else take it.
Can you tell me more about this? Who did you see?
I'm not sure. It was just a quick glance. I didn't get a good look at their face.
Okay, that's helpful. We'll need to investigate this further.
Look, I'm innocent. I just want to go home.
We understand, Ivy. We appreciate your cooperation. We'll be in touch with you soon. Note, the actual interview would depend on the specific circumstances and the subject's responses. The examiner should be professional, non-accusatory, and focus on obtaining information rather than forcing a confession.